Welcome back to Life Beyond Locks. Today we're taking a look at this hair topper. It is by NewTimes Hair. I've looked at this company before in wig form. Today we're taking a look at their silk top topper, and I am kind of excited about this piece because it is a piece that offers a lot of flexibility because of the cap construction. So we're going to take a look at that together. But really this video is for you if you are looking into becoming a retailer of human hair toppers or wigs, or if you are someone who is a stylist who has clients who are looking for human hair toppers, this is for you. If you are an individual who's looking to make a purchase, they do not sell to individuals. They are a wholesaler, and a manufacturer, but they certainly can recommend one of their retailers to you. So if you are liking what you're seeing already, stick around and we can ensure that you are sent in the right direction about where you can buy your own piece. And that may even be through me if need be. But anyways, let's jump into it. So this is a Mongolian hair, Remy human hair topper. It's a 6x7 cap. They say it's a silk top topper and 130% density. I'm wearing it in the color level 4. Now that is my typical color. If you're seeing that my own hair underneath is looking really pale in comparison, or in contrast, I guess, to this topper, it is because I dyed my hair recently. I was trying to get rid of the grays. I haven't dyed my hair since 2019, and I picked the wrong color and my hair ended up going too light. So I would say that this really is a true level 4. It's just that my own hair is much lighter. I bought a number 6 because when I did a test strand with a number 5 box, it looked really dark. I got scared. I got a number 6. Cool. And it ended up turning into like a very light reddish hue. But anyways, you can see based on my eyebrows that this really is a good match. So it is a level 4. So who might be interested in this particular topper? Somebody who has, I would say, mid-stage hair loss. And I'll show you why, because we're going to take a look at the cap together. The 6x7 is not particularly large, but it's not small either. So if you have a client or you yourself are looking to cover just a tiny little patch of hair, you're going to want to go for something smaller. But in terms of comfort and coverage, I always recommend bigger toppers. I have a small head. I'm 5'3". My circumference is 21.25 inches. I'm 11 ear to ear and 12 front to back. And I still always go for like a 9x9 topper where I can. I go as big as I can, though I will say this is a generous size. So taking a look at the cap construction, this entire area, I'm not sure if they do machine or hand tied for their toppers, but if I find out, I'll put it in the description below. But what is important to note is that this entire area that you're seeing, 6x7, so those numbers usually mean across and then front to back, is of silk material. So they take the hair, they put it into this silk-like material, and what it does is create a completely opaque scalp appearance, which is great because it means that your client does not have to put any scar tape, anything down to try to create the illusion of scalp. The illusion of scalp is there no matter where in this area they part the hair. So I have it set up to a center part. That's how it came actually. All I did to this piece was I did add a little bit of water to the root just to froof it up a bit, and I added some curls. As you can see, it came to me flat. But if I move the hair over to the side here, you're still getting realistic looking scalp. So it doesn't matter anywhere on this piece that your client or you yourself part this hair, it's going to look like natural scalp, which is amazing. Many silk top toppers end up with wefts around the edges and a silk top center that is maybe up to 4x4. So you have a bit of parting area, but this one is like expansive. So lots of parting area. This also means that we have like the ability to really froof up the hair in all of this area, as opposed to just in the U-shaped center that most silk tops have, because you don't have wefts weighing down the hair. So you can really get a lot of volume. This piece for me is going to clip in all the way to about here. So I can get lots of lift and volume all the way around, which is a huge advantage to this large silk area. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, let's talk about the clips. So that's another factor. So I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you may not have any understanding of human hair toppers. Maybe you're just looking them up for the first time because you have a client who's struggling with hair loss and you want to help them you want to provide them with a solution. So a hair topper, as you can probably see already, it works like clip-in extensions in that it does have pressure sensitive clips. These ones are good clips. They're not the aggressive kind that are going to tear out your hair. They can be opened and closed with a single hand. So it adheres to the head using pressure sensitive clips. So very similar to clip-in extensions, except it's going to cover the area that typically has the most hair loss, which of course is the top of the head. For men and women, but especially for women, they don't have any of that safety zone. So it's really like helpful to have a larger base and conceal as much as you can. So what your client would do, there's two different ways that they could wear it. One is to wear it right to the front hairline like this. And that's how I was wearing it earlier in the video. If your client has enough of a hairline here, you can actually set it further back, just like this, and then take your client's hair and just blow dry it up and pull it out and allow some of those baby hairs to be blended in, and it will create a more natural look than going right to the front. But because I have those grays in the front and because I have such a weak hairline, I'm either gonna wear it like right up to the front or just a little bit behind. But some people can wear it as much as like, let's say an inch or two behind their hairline, just for lots of added volume. And that's how a lot of celebrities are wearing toppers. If they're wearing toppers instead of wigs, they're probably wearing them further back. You can also fill in this area using L'Oreal root spray, using eyeshadow, using root powder, keratin fibers. There's a whole bunch of, cotton fibers as well is what I would actually recommend for hair fibers. So there's a whole bunch of different things you can do to fill in this area so that they can get that more natural blend if that's something that your client is looking to have. Okay, so why would you want to buy straight from the overseas manufacturer? And the reason why is because one, the price point is going to be a little bit lower because you're cutting out some of the middleman, but also because you are able to get different levels of customization or not, which means you can customize for your client. So if your client is buying a piece from a retailer in North America, chances are there's already customization done to it, some cut, some coloring, that type of thing. And then they would bring that piece to you and you would custom color and cut their biological hair to match the topper. As you can imagine, it is important that your own biological hair matches the topper in terms of texture and color. So I actually have biologically curly hair. I have to straighten it to match the topper. If you are actually ordering from the manufacturer yourself, then you can get the piece and make the customizations for your client without them wasting their time and money going to a retailer who's doing that for them and then charging a markup for those services. So you can either purchase a piece like this in the color that your client needs. So, if you know your client's a number 4, that's how she's been dyeing her hair for however long, well, you can go ahead and order the level 4, but it doesn't have any layers in it. It doesn't have any custom cut, and you can go ahead and do those for her on the spot when it arrives at your salon. So that's kind of nice. But they also they have a whole catalog. You can take a look at it. But they will also sell a 613 hair, I believe. So like a bleached but uncolored, and then you can add the color yourself if you're a colorist so that you get the desired outcome for your client or for future clients if you want to start selling pieces yourself. So really great. I do love that they have a lot of different clips. By the way, your client might ask, because when they first start wearing a hair topper, they'll probably speak about the discomfort, especially if they're struggling with hair loss, because these hairs are really sensitive and really fine. It's not going to sit the same way as it would on somebody who has a full head of hair. So if your client expresses concern about traction alopecia, it is a real thing. It's not something that I've experienced even after years of wearing toppers, and it's because of the way that I put the topper on and because I select toppers with the right kinds of clips. So these clips are ideal, but one thing that you can tell your clients, they don't have to put all the clips in. So this comes with a number of clips. One day, you can wear these 2 and not these 2 or something like that. You can rotate through, so that will give their head a bit of a break. The other thing I would say is this front clip is probably not super desirable for anybody who has a very thin hairline. So I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't have it clipped in on me at all. You can replace this with either, like, you could put a silicone strip, you could put a band of velvet on there, you could put barber's Velcro on there, you could even put a comb, or you can just leave nothing, or you can leave it as is and not clip it in. To be honest, I never bothered in all of my years of wearing toppers to change out a front comb or a front clip. I just don't use it. So what I will do is just sit it on top of my head like this and just not even worry about clipping that part in. And quite honestly, I haven't had any problems. Like my pieces have never blown away, blown off. I've been on tarmacs before where it's windy and no issue. So the installation bit, I mean, you can always send your clients to me, to my virtual content on YouTube or Instagram for help. But if you want to show them, they're just going to open the clip once the topper is in the place on their head that they want it. And you're just going to do a little scoop like this of hair and then push down. I am not scooping a lot. This is a common mistake, I think, at the beginning, because I did a lot of this. When I first started wearing toppers, I was pulling down as far as I possibly could, and I was scooping up as much hair as I possibly could. And at the end of that first week, I thought, I don't know how I'm going to continue wearing these. It was during COVID, we were wearing masks, it was hot, and my head was screaming because I was being so aggressive with my topper clips, and they were good clips. It wasn't from this company, but they were good, and I still had headaches and it hurt at the end of the day. So just tell your client, you know, they don't have to be super rough and aggressive. You're going to have, it's not moving, even though I haven't clipped in aggressively. If they want extra security, they could always use a topper grip, or they could spray some hairspray, back comb the hair before putting the clips in. But honestly, it's not going anywhere, really. And I really do not have this pulling on my hair in any big way. So hopefully if this is new for you, this whole world of topper, this kind of, you know, introduces you to the world of toppers and gets you searching some more. If you are someone who's already acquainted with toppers, hopefully you make a consideration of NewTimes Hair just because they have a big selection. And as I said, they can customize or not for you, which makes it really easy for you as the potential retailer. I love the large silk top. If I didn't say it already 100 times, I'm going to say it one more time. I think that this is something that makes it very user friendly, because the more parting ability, the more it's going to feel like your client's real hair, because they have that flexibility, even if they always stick to a center part or a side part. By the way, side parts I think are even better for concealing a front hairline when you're wearing a topper. But even if they tend to always do the same thing, just knowing that you have that flexibility is really nice. Knowing that if the wind catches anything, you're not going to see any wefts is really nice. And by the way, I didn't show you this, but if you are new to toppers, they allow for your client to put their hair up, get it off their neck. You can even do like something like this if they have an event. You know, I'm not a stylist, but lots of flexibility. And this one is really light and airy because it doesn't have any wefts in it. So it doesn't feel heavy in my head. It doesn't feel like it's tugging or pulling a lot. It's very wearable, very pretty. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I will see you with the next video. Thank you to NewTimes Hair for sending this over, by the way, for educational content. I'm very, very happy to be working with them on this piece. I was so pleased with that first wig. The construction of it was really lovely, and the construction of this one is very lovely as well. So thank you so much. I'll see you with the next video.